Hello Cancer, welcome back to my channel The Vibes Inside. I am Mariana and I'm here to do your next reading, Cancer. So I'm just preparing here right now. So when I do the Aries readings, I always get this kind of imprint about what is to come for the round of readings that I'm doing. And well, in the Aries reading, I had something distinct and extinct. So something quite particular or destined, you could say, and then something extinct, that something is not here anymore or here yet, perhaps. In our linear understanding, extinct means that it was in the past but is not in the current, and not therefore also not in the future. But I feel like this round of reading is talking about something like that, like there's something in us in some way that we can get in touch with, even if it's quote unquote just a memory. It's still a memory of something that was once, and maybe something that could be found again. Distinct can even say, if we say that, let's say you have as a child you had this particular interest that was very, like it was dear to you, like you really loved it. And now in your adult life, you don't even think about it. Like it's totally out of your awareness. It's totally gone, totally like all that you're doing in your current adult awareness is something else. It's not that, but you adored it as a child. You loved it as a child. It's something you have totally forgotten about. Your life in your current moment doesn't allow for it. It's not something that you can, or you are prioritizing your time with in the current moment. So now I have a card here that says attachment, and we can see how she's chained here. And then she is looking at something here that could perhaps be, her in a different version. But in the current she is chained, but in this memory she has, perhaps she is maybe not chained, like maybe she is free there. So I get this feeling of that a current thing in your life could be keeping you chained. But if you remember this thing, this person perhaps, or this environment, a hobby, something you did once, it could free you, right? Even if you are in a current situation that is not allowing you to get out, you could say that there could be something that you did as a child that could help you. If you remember it, if you remember what it is, it could help you. Cancers, we know that you are said to be quite motherly, empathic, kind people. I call you, and I'm a Cancer sun myself, I call you the first water. So the first water is, you could say, how I see the first water is the calm one. like the small little well. It is, or it prefers perhaps something quieter, something, well, we are not dealing with a tsunami here. We are dealing with the small water, and that is, it hasn't grown big yet. It hasn't come to the sea yet. It's not an ocean yet. It's just a little lake, you know. And what happens in that little lake, what kind of life is there, as opposed to the giant ocean? Cancers are associated with the fourth house in the zodiac, which is usually about the home. So you could say that if we take the picture of the lake, that it's a harmonious, or a, well, not all homes are harmonious, right? But that could maybe be the preferred state, you could say, for cancers, that they would like it to be a little beautiful lake with a little life in it, you know, and some kind of activity, but rather harmoniously constructed in some way. Whereas opposed to the giant ocean, we now have all kinds of species here. It's not the same as the little lake or the little well. And you could say the creatures in the big ocean may also differ from the little lake. There's, maybe you could say, a certain limit to, let's say, size in the lake, that, or even the amount, how many is there, like how many fish is in the lake as opposed to the ocean. How big can they be? Like what can grow here, like what can actually live here and sustain itself. If you take a whale and put it into the lake, it will not survive there for long, because it will eat everything during a few days, and there will be nothing left for none of them. So only particular things can live in the little lake, you could say, as opposed in the ocean, where there's much more diversity and it's way bigger, and all sorts of creatures can live there. Also a whale, right? So you could say cancers are maybe more concerned about the home and those that are close to them, like the lake, you could say. They could be more concerned with the lake than the ocean, even though they are next door neighbors, you know. Or if the ocean is right here, I'm more concerned about this and keeping this intact and keeping this alive and those in it. So I primarily concentrate on those that are close to me, you could say. I don't know if that is true for all cancers, I don't think so. But I think that it's correct that there is an attachment to the home, or to the idea of home, and to those who are in it, or what is in it. And you could say, now I talk about something ancient, something about, or that was my introduction, that there could be something around this time that, where it's like I touch upon things that are maybe more ancient to cancers in this reading, right? That a dilemma or something that you could say it was once but is not now, and why, perhaps. Why is it not now? So let's say that, Cancer, that you do have this idea of the little lake, and that is your home, and you would like it to be, you know, harmonious in some way, that all get along, or that it's a place of healing, and it's a place of friendship, and it's a place of calm, and it's a motherly environment. It's kind, and there is a sense of tolerance with each other. There's cooperation and something like that here. But that's not what you experience, perhaps. You would like it to be like that. Because you know that in the ocean out there, it's a way more wilderness. But there could be a concern, that what I have inside my own doors, what I have inside my own home, here I want it to be peaceful. Here I want people to get along. Here I want, or I need perhaps, that something needs to be calm and peaceful here, or at least with some kind of cooperation and understanding and tolerance, right? And we are not fighting each other here. We are not killing each other here either. There's enough of that out there, right? There's enough in the big ocean out there. Here, it's not like that. Here we actually care for each other. Here we will protect each other, right? Here we are more unanimous. We are more like one union here because it has to work. Out there, we know that there are a lot of things going on, big species, small species. Everything is a bit of a struggle, perhaps. Some are always in danger. Some rule the waters, and some just try to get by. And there are all kinds of plants, algae and things growing there. And everybody just tries to, live their life there, you could say. But they will encounter each other, all these species and sizes, as opposed to my little lake here. In my lake, I would like it to be like this. And if Cancer could choose, and had the say in the home, it would be a quiet one. It would be a peaceful one. But you see, Cancers, well, if you get married and you have a family, the ones around you, like that, they could of course like that too. But you could also end up with someone who is not like you, or they don't need the peace or the quiet, or they don't have the same values. Let's say you end up with a Scorpio, right? The Scorpio is very equipped to deal with the deep water. Right? It's very equipped to go out there and deal with all this bigger diversity of emotional or consciousness realm here. You would like something to be in a particular way. Let's say you have a partner that is a Scorpio. I guess that, well, they may prefer the peace and calm, but there's also something missing, I guess, that for them is not enough, perhaps. And you could have a person in your life or children in your life that where it's not enough, or it's too quiet maybe, or it's too peaceful, or it's too harmonious. Where you love this, others may find it boring, or they find that or they take it for granted, right? That, yeah, I can go out there and be part of all this tumultuous thing, and then I can go back to Cancer. And because this is so great here, it's so nurturing and kind and everything here, I know that this is something that is always available to me, so I can take it for granted, perhaps here. But Cancers actually do put in a lot of energy to keep it that way, to maintain it like this. It's important for them to have a sense of peace. So how do you maintain yourself if you are not surrounded by something that adds to the peace or adds to the flow in the home, for instance, or in the lake, you could say? And here again, I feel like, because Cancers are known to be a cardinal sign, when you are a cardinal sign, you actually have a lot of self-leadership in you. Like you can lead yourself without anyone teaching you, or without anyone admiring you, or without anyone necessarily, follow you or something. You can like stand quite tall on your own. But is that actually what cancers do? Or can we somehow get trapped in some kind of attachment where we do feel that we have to stay, that we are chained to it somehow? And we cannot be that cardinal in our life. We cannot put our foot forward. You could say, can you be the leader of your lake? Do you lead your lake, or is something else leading it? Like let's say that the children in the home become the dominant force, and the parents are following what the children are doing just to get by, or just to get peace, or just to, I think many homes actually, some homes function like that, because the leadership of the parents are not there. Like it becomes more, it's dimmed in some way. So I feel like I could talk to Cancer energies that, and I feel like myself has been dimmed. Like it has not been the cardinal. Like the self-leadership voice in you may not have been that present. That's why the attachment card came out. I feel like that could be something you have been dealing with that has kept you in a certain space, you could say. And now it's like you witness what is going on in your lake, right? That you look at you are part of the lake, and you look at your lake, and it's not this peaceful place, perhaps. Or you're thinking back to your childhood, perhaps, and you are thinking about, was the home peaceful? But you were not the leader, right? You were the child. But were there anyone here who kind of, set the tone here? And how did they do that? Was it a peaceful, quiet, loving, embracing home? Or what happened here, right? And is this the reason, if you felt you were overwhelmed here, or you felt like you were not safe here, is that the reason why you today feel the same? Or that your home is also, filled with like diversity, and it that doesn't in itself, that is not in itself a problem. It's a problem if none of them actually want to work together. Like that, if there is no compromise, or there is no understanding of each other's needs. So is your lake surrounded by people, or you say those closest to you, are they surrounding you with cooperation, warmth, embrace, love? Or is it only sometimes? Or are they just, like users of what it is that you're trying to bring? That all the peace that you try to bring, they just take it for granted. Do you see that you have the same kind of home feeling as when you were a child? Do you experience the same thing? And if you became the cardinal, if you took your leadership on, what kind of home would you create then? What kind of tone would be there? If you actually put your foot down and said, I don't want to be part of this anymore. This is the rule. It's my home. You are in it. We all have to work together, or I'm out, right? I'm out of this if nobody wants to accommodate what I'm telling you, because I am the home. I'm the home, right? I represent everything that has to do with the peace and calm and comfort and understanding and embrace that the mother has. And this is the kind of home I want. This is the kind of home I need also. And all of you need to somehow work with me on this, or I'm out of here, right? I can't work with this. I can't create the home that I need and you may need as well. I can't be like the flame in this if I'm the only one putting effort into this and nobody else wants to harmoniously cooperate with me. So I have this feeling that, we say that there's this saying that says that happy wife, happy family. So in the home, if there's a Cancer present in the home, you should let her lead. Like she should be, if this is the mother, it could be the father also, but they should have the lead because they are the home. Like they represent the home. They represent this peace, the peace maker, you could say. That's what they represent. They represent the calm, which we need when we go to bed and sleep, right? It's difficult to sleep in a home that is filled with like quarrels and war, and we can't find the peace. If there's a Cancer present in your life, and they are a friend or a parent or anything, this is the one that you go to find understanding and peace and embrace and calm and friendship. If you have a Cancer in the home, they should lead it because they should be cardinals because they are the home. But is that what we are doing? Like, do we take on this role and embrace it and say, listen, I'm aware that you have all your stuff out there that you are doing, but I'm the home. I'm the home. I'm the one you come to. I'm the one you search. I'm the manifestation of the home that you need to rest and rejuvenate and recover. That is me. When I'm present here, you let me lead. Right? I will lead here because I'm actually what you need when you are exhausted and when you are frustrated and when you are bitter and when you are angry and when everything, you come to me, right? You come to me to calm down, to find healing, to find peace. I'm the manifestation of this. I'm the physical manifestation of this. This is usually what I exude to other people. So when you come to me, my rules apply. Otherwise, don't come to me, because then I can't have the lake that I want. In my lake, there's harmony, because I cannot exude my energy if I'm constantly surrounded by toxicity and war and unease and non-cooperation. So if you come to me, these are my rules, right? My rules apply. Otherwise, like, give up your fighting. If you're dealing with me, give up your fighting. You come to me, right? You want to come to me. Why do you come to me? If you want fighting, go out and fight. If you want strife, go out and strive. But if you come to me, if you come home, if you come into my embrace, you let me heal, right? You let me heal you then. Take your guard down. Don't come to my temple, don't come to my palace with weapons. Don't come in to make a mess in my lake here. Don't mess with my lake. My harmonious lake is my creation. My rules apply. That is why it is harmonious. Don't expect me to let you in if you come with strife, if you come with weapons. I can't even help you heal if you come with weapons. You lay them at the front door before you come in. Here my rules apply. Here I'm the Cardinal, right? I'm the home. I cannot heal you. I cannot be the home for you if you take weapons with you in. So I get this feeling of it's like Cancer should really embrace this leadership thing, that if people come to them, if they seek them out, it may be because they want the motherly peace from you, but they cannot bring weapons or guns. Then they should stay away. They are not for you, right? If they get inside your doors, they create turmoil in there. And this is exactly what you are using all your energy to avoid. You want the harmonious lake. If something comes in with weapons or denial or anger, or, and they don't want to cooperate with you, it's like, because I have no weapons against you, I'm not attacking you. If you come to me, if you want to be in my presence, if you're seeking me out, if you want me to come and visit you, if you're asking for my presence, you can't ask for my presence and expect me to be something else. If you're looking for my presence, it's because I'm reminding you of something. I offer something very particular. But I can only offer this as long as I keep my own ground safe. So if I concentrate on my own home or my own life, I become the embodiment of that. If I make sure that what I have around me is very harmonious, the people, the things I surround myself with, maybe what I eat even, is very harmonious. It's calm. It doesn't create a lot of turmoil. I am this embodiment. So when people come towards me, I know what I stand for. I know what I am. I'm the home. I'm the mother. Or I'm the warm embrace. But don't come to me if you want war. Because you come to me for a reason. Why do you come to me if you want war? You should go out there and fight someone else. Don't bring war to me. You should do the exact opposite. On your way to me, you should de-armor. Because what you want is the embrace. You want to be able to be held, to be embraced, understood, healed. You should take off all your armor. You can't come to me with armor. When you come home from work and you enter the door, you know, I'm home now. If there is a Cancer in that home, they will make it so. So don't attack the Cancer. The Cancer is all the peace that you want, the friend you want. Don't attack them. That's not what they do. They are the exact opposite. They can be your best friend, but act like it. Treat them like it, right? And I feel like the Cancers, they have to step up and say no to this, right? Say no. No. You bring war to me. I'm not your enemy. Never forget that, right? I'm not your enemy. If you want war, you go back out there. Here, in my lake, here, I'm the ruler. There may be other rulers out there, but here I rule. This is my place. I'm the ruler here. Never, ever, ever question that. If you have a cancer in your life and you love them, if you're married to a cancer, they rule the home. They are the home. You have sought them out because you want peace. You want help. You do want to heal. So don't stop it, right? You can walk in and stand in front of the cancer with armor on and weapon and expect them to embrace you. I think this is for both. The cancers needs to step up and really embrace this. This is me you're talking to. How do you dare come in here with armor on? How do you dare? You want to be in my presence. You want me to exude my energy. But you're hiding yourself. You bring in armor. You come to me with armor. And you want me to deal with you. I can't deal with you like this. Right? No. Inside this lake, I'm the ruler. You are not. The home is me. I'm the embodiment of it. You can never bring war to me. You can never bring armor. You can't expect me to want to hug an iron robot. No. You disarmor all of that and you come to me. Then we can talk. Then we can sit down and I will be present for you. I will listen. I will be there all the way. But you can't bring armor and weapon inside my lake here. Not permitted. Why do you come to me if this is what you want? I have no strife with you. Stay away, right? I'm not that. I'm the opposite. I'm not your enemy. I'm the opposite. Don't treat me like I am. And what happens is that when a cancer realizes that somehow someone they have trusted, they got inside and they bring turmoil, they get hurt here. They get terribly hurt. And they start building up their walls because they cannot take in more. They can never ever open up again for something similar. So when you meet a blocked cancer, it's because something has already touched them. Something has not recognized the cardinal in them. Someone has been hurting mother. Someone was hurting mother. So she is blocking now, right? So this is something I think that, and I guess cancers may understand what I'm talking about here. Like I really believe that we have to own the fact that we are peacekeepers. And people should never ever bring something to us. Like, they want to be our friend. They want us to be near them. They want us to come to their house. And when we get in, we get all kinds of blah, 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 blah. And they still keep an armor up here. When we actually give an advice, when we try to comfort them, they still have an armor up. So I'm asking, why do you want my company if you don't want to heal? If you don't want the embrace? If you don't want to be naked and raw? You're seeking out the greatest healer. The mother. The one we run to when we are children. You seek it out. Why? If you don't want to heal. If you don't want to open. You just want to it's like a trash bin. So you can use the cancer as a trash bin. You put all your worries and all your frustration on them, but you never open to take in the healing that they may send to you. Why do you want them to come then? This is abusive. I believe that it's not okay. They are not enemies. You want them in your presence because they are friendly, so you can say everything to them, but you don't want to heal. You keep up your facade. You bring weapons or armor. You just want to send all your crap to them, but you bring up, you have your armor up. So when they send something to you, you can actually not even take it in. You can never heal. Why do you come? Why do you want the presence of the mother if you cannot take in their embrace? I think Cancer should really step up to this and look at the people around them. What do you have in your inner circle? Is it giving you, is that cooperation? Do they want to heal with you? Like the mother can only embrace and heal the child if the child is open to take in her warmth. If she is embracing a child that is totally closed off, she can have whatever warmth if someone is not receptive. So I'm saying that you can go to all the healers you want. If you cannot be receptive to the healing abilities that the healer has, you will not heal. Like it's don't seek out a healer if you're not willing to open and be vulnerable and be. You can't keep up your act, and then it is like a false interaction, and you're misusing the attention of the Cancer. And I believe the Cancer should see this as well and say no to the interaction, because it's a waste of your energy. So I have a feeling of like the Cardinal is present here. Like the Cardinal is what all Cancers should stand in. Like their cardinal motherly character. The Cardinal is a leadership, hierophant like, you could say presence. You should own up to what it is that you actually bring to the table. And people who don't respect it or bring in, like they come in with all their armor, it's like, no, I don't want to be part of this conversation. It's not something, I can't help you. Like, why do you come to me? Because I cannot help you. The state you are in, I cannot help you. You want me around because it feels nice, but you don't want to heal, right? You don't want to heal, you just want me around because I'm a friendly person. I'm not an enemy. But you don't want to heal, right? So, and I feel like I'm talking to Cancers in that position, like they are not even aware of what they bring. Like they don't even see it. It has taken me a very long time to figure out what I bring. Sometimes, the mother is the only one that loves her child. The only one that sees light in them. The only one that sticks to them when everyone else turns around. The mother has a certain embrace, a certain way of loving her own creation in the way that others may not do. A mother is but she should never be disregarded, right? She has status. She's important. What would the world be like if there were no mothers? If there were no home, if there is no home and warm embrace? What would the world be like if we don't have the mothers? They are extremely important. But I just feel like they may not be regarded as such. may not be regarded. I feel like they can be abused or just taken for granted. Like motherliness is a specific quality where you put your own agenda aside and you take care of someone else for a while until they actually feel better. And the way that they do this is like this entire embrace, where they are sheltering you for a moment where you may crack, where you may be very vulnerable, where you may need to heal, where you are weak, or where you feel threatened or sad, or they are providing this shelter for you with understanding and compassion and friendliness and kindness. And when you are ready, they open again and you can go out there. But this must never ever be taken for granted, and you cannot heal someone who still keeps up armor and weapons when you make your embrace around them. It's a waste of time. So I feel like cardinals should really own this, like own this. I'm the embodiment of home. Never ever treat me with disrespect, right? Never ever come to me and expect me to be all that I am. With armor. If you come to me with armor, you are not giving me the opportunity to heal you, but you are also not giving yourself the opportunity to heal. You just come into, like, you could say, it's a bit like, like from walking in the wilderness in the cold, you find a bit of a campfire and you stand in the perimeter of it so you can feel the warmth, but you're never truly engaging with it. You just feel the warmth. It would be the same as, you are a homeless person, you stand outside in the cold and you can look in through the windows, right? You look in through the windows and you can see that there's candlelights and warmth and food and there's warmth in there. But you stay outside, you never knock on the door. And if you knock on the door, you would come in still and still be freezing. They would still freeze inside the warm living room because they can't take in the warmth. They can't be embraced. They can't be healed. They will still be shivering in there. And I feel like you should be careful not to get involved with people like that and take them into your innermost sacred place, because in there you could get trapped trying to heal them and it will never work out. You're wasting your time and your heart and your effort and your life force. I feel like that is a message to cancers, that and I think that we can be a sense of blindfolded to this sometimes, maybe because, well, cancers are supposed to, or be said, it's told that cancers can also be romantic and a bit naive, so they may have, like this romantic idea that they can heal them, like my love can heal everyone, right? If they just let me love them, then they will be okay. But in certain cases, maybe not. And I think cancers should learn to figure this out before they get too hurt, because you can be trapped. You can become trapped in the idea that you need to heal someone who cannot heal. Like no matter how long they are in your warm living room, they still shiver. they are still not well there. They're still not thriving. They're still not happy there. They're still not, or they are still grumpy, And you could become obsessed about, like, the idea that they should feel better, that they should be happier, that they should, and you can become obsessed about doing everything you can to fix it somehow. To fix something that cannot be fixed. It's not supposed to be fixed, perhaps. There are all sorts of energies in this realm we are in, so-called good and so-called bad, so-called light and so-called darkness, and some represent the other part. And some you cannot heal, but you could become obsessed about them, because this is what you do. And if you cannot help them or heal them or make them feel better, you are a failure, right? You cannot be the mother, or you cannot be motherly in the form that, or you don't have what it takes, that your energy is not enough or good enough, or so you can blame yourself, right? And when you blame yourself and you think you have done something wrong, or you're not good enough, or you don't have what it takes, it may not at all be true. It can just as easy be the other part, like the one that came to you, the one you may have in your vicinity, in your lake. It could be a plant, or it could be an insect that you cannot heal. And you can become obsessed about that one instead of all the others. I guess that this is the same that surgeons or doctors experience. If there's this particular patient that is this mystery to them, that they cannot seem to figure out what's wrong with them, and if they die, it feels like this failure, because normally they can, normally they know, normally they do have what it takes, normally they could heal this one, but because this one doesn't heal or get better or get thrives more, the cancer can second guess themselves whether they are good enough, whether they don't have what it takes, whether their love is not strong enough, or whether they haven't done everything they could. But I think that it's because we have to understand that there are energies here that cannot be necessarily be solved. I think this is a puzzle that every doctor or surgeon has in their head, that there's this one patient that surprised them and they couldn't fix it, right? This one that is this troubling thing in their mind. And this can become the one that you get fixated on instead of all the others that you could help, all the others that did embrace you, that all the others that did benefit from your healing, right? There is this one example. And because of this one example, you could second guess yourself. I think that's also what you call a surgeon's block or a doctor block, that they become so frightened to deal with their patients after, that because of this one example, that they lose their sense of like healer abilities, that this one example overrides everything else that they have done. That everything else they have done, it overrides it all. So even though they have helped and healed maybe hundreds, this one is the reason for them to resign and not doing healing practice anymore. Because this is the one that I couldn't heal, and because I couldn't heal it, there must be something wrong with me, right? I'm not good enough. It's like losing the confidence. And I think, Cancer, you should never lose your confidence over one or even two in your inner circle here. you should never, but I know you could. I did. I got totally focused on the one that I seemed like I couldn't help or heal or get access to, like it's like they were in my life, and they seemed to come or be around me or ask for my company. But it's like no matter what I said or did, it's like they weren't hearing anything. So why did they want me to be there? If I can't bring forth what it is that I have, why do you seek me? Why do you want me to come and be there? It's like you want my company, you want me to be a friend, but you never allow me in. You never allow me to heal, right? You never allow me to. So you can get to a point where you say no to certain people. You say no to them because of this particular thing. Because of this experience, you say no to them. Because you know you can't help them. And they are seeking you out just to have a bit of comfort, or they seek you out to just have a bandage on the wound, but never to actually look at the wound. So they are not allowing you to be the healer you could be. They just want, like a slight touch of it. They're not prepared to actually do the healing work. They're not prepared to actually open up and be vulnerable and let you see everything. No, they only show you a shell. And I feel like I'm relating a little bit to the Gemini reading, where I talked about this shell that was kind of just locked in, and the Gemini was trying to get access somehow, right? Or the other way around, that the Gemini is the closed one and another is trying to have access here. But that's what I feel like. And I think that Cancer should own up to the Cardinal, like really own up and say, there are certain things that I can't heal. There are certain things that it won't heal. Because it has free will also. It can do whatever it wants. It can keep me also focusing on them. Like if they have figured out that I focus on them because they are not healing or because they are not opening up, it can be used. I talked about in the Gemini reading that the one with the control is the one that is blocked here, that is not allowing someone to have access. I said that the Gemini could circle this like a shark, right? And do whatever they want and buy whatever they want and talk and say whatever they want. But if this one chooses to be locked in, you can't have access. And I'm saying a bit the same here. It feels a little bit like get to a point of maybe also saying, I don't even want to have access. Like this is not something I want to deal with. This is a group of people perhaps that like they have decided to stay the way they are. And no matter what I try to do, it won't help anything. So I'd rather just say no, 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 right? Don't come to me, like don't come to me and expect like my full embrace here. Like my embrace are for those that actually do want to heal. Those that do want to cooperate with me. And by cooperation, I mean that cooperation means that in here, we cooperate about peace. We cooperate about healing. We cooperate about, we are agreeing on certain terms and values here. If you come in and you sit here and you are like this closed off shell that I'm engaging with, that is not cooperation. In my inner circle here, I don't want you in there. I'm saying no to you. Because I know from experience that this is not right for me. I get attached to it if I do, and I don't want to be attached. And that's what I feel like. Become aware of what can be in your lake, you could say, or your garden. Become aware of what can and must be in your garden. And also know that if there is someone here whom you cannot find this solace and peace with, they must never ever stay there, because they can become the one that you get so attached to that it imprisons you in like this cat and mouse thing where you never get out. So that's what I feel like I have here. And I talked about something ancient, that there could be something ancient here. And I have this feeling that maybe this is like a cat and mouse thing that has been going on for always. And if the Cardinal loses their belief in their healing power, and they get attached to this one whom they couldn't heal, and they dim their light, and they become sad, and they become, scared to be a healer again, it's not worth it. Like this one kind of energy that you cannot seem to have access to, or is not embracing your motherly qualities, like if you focus on them, they can become your ruin. They can become your ruin. It may be, still part of your experience, but please keep it aside, because it will kill your Cardinal healer. It has the potential, this one energy has the potential to suck out all confidence of you and have you trapped in this mystery of trying to solve this with an energy that is not budging and never will. So you can be sucked into some kind of drama here and keep like just swirling in that drama. Or you could take yourself out and concentrate on those that you can help, and those who want to heal with you, who has the same priority, who is open to healing, instead of trying to fix those that are not. Even though they come to you. If you can feel it, and if you instantly can feel, but there's nothing to do here. And even more, if you feel the draw, that you are pulled in by them, you should resist even more, because this can be a trauma bond where you just sit here and you keep focusing and you're totally trapped in trying to find a solution in some way. And I think this has been an ancient thing, or an old thing, or maybe a thing that has been maybe it happened when you were like a little child. Maybe you were part of a household and you knew that there was an energy here that you wanted to find cooperation with, but you couldn't, right? It never saw your qualities. It never sought peace with you, right? Actually, it could have done the exact opposite. It created turmoil with you, and you tried to again and again and try to dim it or try to heal it, but it never worked. And this could now have become your this nemesis thing, that you are in this spin with them, right? Like a curse almost. And I'm encouraging Cancers to become aware of if they have felt something like that in their life, or have energies like this, like narcissistic energies around them, that this could have been like a really, really old thing. It could even be past lives, that you have some kind of game or some kind of thing going on with them here. In my own case, I felt this strong need that I was in debt. Like I was in debt. I should stay. I was owing them. I needed to try again and again. It's like I was owing them something. That I owe my allegiance. I owe my loyalty. I owe them something. It's like they have done something in the past, and for that I now owe them to stick around. I owe them to not give up. I owe them to try to fix it. Let's say like the feeling of that once we were cooperating, once we were seeking the same thing, but then something happened and they may have saved me, but in the process they were hurt. And now I owe them to not give up trying, to keep trying to figure this out so that they can come back, so that we can have this again. I don't know if that resonates with anyone out there, but that has been a thing in my life. So it's like and I feel like I have to say again, I have a situation where I am looking at this as in it's not the first time. It's not the first time. There has been other life circles, other attempts to figure this out. Let's have a look at the cards here. Yeah. Like these are actually perfect cards for this. We have Healer of the Ages, right? Healing the impossible here. And then we have the Empress here, the Mother, right? And in the middle we have Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. I give endless because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. This is interesting. It's like it's because I give endlessly because the light is without end, meaning that the light, or you would say the healing power, the love is without end. So this is like a never-ending source of healing power, perhaps. You have, in order for you to have that, you need your soul here. So if you can connect with your soul, you have what it takes to keep going here, to keep to keep going. Because it never stops. This feels a little bit like an unconditional thing, like it has no end to it. And there's no situation that there's no whatsoever situation that can ever stop it. Maybe this is like I feel like it's almost like a pep talk, that you have to know that you are an endless source and never forget it. That you are an endless source here and never forget it. In the root position here, you come from, you could say, roots of healers. And I do think that cancers do, like the light that you come from, it is this. As I said, it's a it is the embodiment of home. It is the embodiment of, like, this guy could look like Jesus, right? And these are your roots, like it's in the root position here. And it's, I get almost like, yeah, like a pep talk. Never forget your roots. And the Empress here in the crown position, right? Like the crown can be like your awareness. Like how you think about yourself. Like she's not a page, right? She's an Empress. And look at her, like her surrounding, her garden here, or like this is what she is always manifesting. The Empress is usually depicted as a pregnant woman. She makes sure that she has this garden around her. It's important for her to have nurture and care around her, for her and her child to come. She's choosing wisely here, so that what she has around her is a supportive network or a supportive environment, or as I said with the lake, right? Like the lake, there's a necessity to have a sense of harmonious, supportive network here. That is what she's looking for. Yeah, I feel it's like a pep talk. It's almost like you have no idea what you are. Like you have no idea what it is that you actually bring here. And you should know that it is without end. You should know that you have light that can just keep shining. But you need your soul here. and you never ever forget it, right? One patient doesn't equal the amount of, you could say, light that you shine. One mistake or one unsolved case should never ever overshine the rest. You would say the problem is, of course, if this one particular case is very close to us, perhaps. Let's say like a brother or a sister or a child or a parent, maybe. That maybe they are within the circle here, but still you couldn't do anything. It could become this one example where in exactly this particular case I should have been able to, right? But isn't there also a saying in detective crime scenes that you can get too close to a case and therefore you will never be objective? You can be too close to the item or the victim or the person, and therefore you shouldn't, it's the same thing with doctors and surgeons, right? That they should never operate on their own children or their own wife or their own, because it's too close, like it's too near or too intimate. So if something goes wrong, they would blame themselves, of course, and it's too much of a responsibility or burden. So if you have like a healer practice, or let's say you work as a healer, let's say you are a doctor or a nurse or something, you shouldn't treat your own family, or you shouldn't operate, or because it gets too close to our, and we are not objective, like we can actually not handle the situation in an objective and critical and logical way. So if there is this one particular case, you could refer that patient or you could refer that person to another healer. That could be it, that you become very aware of whom you who you are a healer for. As I said in the beginning, that there can be this one or two cases where that you can become, like you can spin in this mystery of why it wasn't possible for you to fix it or something. But there can be all kinds of personal ties in here, all kinds of personal stuff going on, and old stuff also, because you have history with those people, and you do not have that with other patients out there. I feel like this is like a pep talk. It's like, this is where you come from, right? This is the capacity or the knowledge, maybe, and it's ancient, it's old, and you should never doubt it, right? as long as you believe in that and you tap into your soul qualities here, you will never run out. Like, you will never run out of healer abilities. Exalted usually means that it's like it's mature, right? It's the lady of matured light. Again, she knows her light, she knows her soul, she knows where she comes from, she knows her roots here. She knows what she represents, and again there's this feeling of cardinal around it, that or empress here. Like don't see yourself as a page of cups, right? Just see yourself as this empress. Like, own it, right? And then she holds this giant symbol of femininity here, of the female gender. She holds it in front of her, almost like a feeling like a portal or something. That she decides what she allows into her world here. We can almost also see it a bit like, like when a warrior comes towards someone else, they may show their sword, right? And their shield. What she is holding in front of her is this feminine sign of femininity and motherhood, or peace here. So this is like if she could hold something in front of her to show her this is who I am, right? She would do that. And it would at the same time be her portal here of what she is, like what is coming through here. What do I want to enter my space here? At the same time, here at the bottom here, we see him stand here, and he has no ring. Like he just opens his arms like this, right? Like just open. Where she's standing with this, like a yeah, well, it feels a bit like a limited space of, like she has no open arms like that. She is, it's a bit like this is a glass wall and the only way in is through this portal here, and she is holding it in front of her to make sure that what is entering is worthy. I almost want to say worthy of her space. Where this one is open to everything. Like he has totally open arms, and maybe that's what you normally would have done. That's your root, that's where you come from. This is your normal state. You would normally be like this. You would just open your arms like the mother, come here to me, and I will hold you here. But now we have matured energy here. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. As long as you like connect with the soul light in you, you have like endless light to give. and kindness and healing, and you do have the mother qualities, but somehow I feel like she is selective, I feel like here. She's concerned about her own wellness, I feel like. She's concerned about her wellness. For her to be that mother, for her to be this healing, she's concerned that nothing is entering her space that is that is willing to work with her, right? That is willing to I feel like also respect her, actually. It's a bit like when you look at her, she is dressed like a nun. And that is a signal, right? Her dress here is a signal. Or her clothing is a signal of where she belongs. And that she is not a she is like the non-appearance or the clothes here signals something. Like she has chosen her path. She knows where she belongs. She is not an available woman. You can't marry her, right? You can't flirt with you. Yeah, you can flirt with her, but she has chosen where she belongs. She could be exalted light. She could be a mature woman, right? It wouldn't be appropriate to, try to flirt with her or seduce her. She stands in a particular light here. She is exuding something. As I said, this looks a little bit like Jesus to me, right? There's this, I almost get Virgo-like energy here to this, a purity, a pure, clean, a pure healing light. Nuns are usually devoted to church in some way, devoted to God, devoted to Jesus. This is the path they've chosen. Because of that, they are still called sisters and mothers here. They can still be, motherly, with all the kindness and help. And we know nuns have been attending to, people during war, that they have been like nurses. So they do have great healer abilities, and they are kind, and they listen, and they are helpful and healers. And so in that way we have an energy here that is, I feel like, mature. It has chosen, it knows where it belongs. Again, a nun would not force, like if you don't want her help, she wouldn't force it upon you. But if you come to her for help, you must also like accept the way she's doing it. Right? The way she would try to heal, the way she would, there's a maturity to her. Like you can't just change her ways. Like she is like this. So if you come to her and you're looking for her healing or her words or her way of listening, her company, like you can't change that. Like she is what she is here. Like she comes from this line of healers. That is her root here. So she has this about her. This is her way. If you come to her, this is how she is. This is how she heals. This is her light. It is endless. It is beautiful. It is committed and loyal and devoted. But then again, you can mess with her, right? She is like this. She will not be wife material. She has her limit to her, you could say, connection with you. This is a bit like if you there's a difference between looking at someone like this and someone who is your mother. This can look like a profession to me, like a nurse, right? But the mother is a mother. If it's your mother, you can have certain access to her because you are her child. It's maybe a more intimate connection. Where this one, she looks like a professional to me. Like the way she is dressed here is, and the way she may speak, the way she may conduct herself. There is a certain limit to her. To her. Like her being a nun, for instance, means that you can have sexual encounters with her. Right? That is not her style. It's not her way. She is the way she can send light to you here, or the way she can heal, comes in a certain form. And this is non-negotiable. This is how she is. This is the exalted life. She knows this about herself and the path she is on and how she can help or heal or be of service. She comes from a line of healers here. She may have exceptional skills, right? But there's a seemingly a sense of limitation to her services, you could say. There's a limited sense of to her. And when she stays in that, like when she is very aware of this, she can stay the Empress because she is preserving her own energy also. She's making sure that what she is doing is in accordance with her maybe boundaries. Like that's what I feel like with this dress here, that there's a boundary. And one of the reasons why she has endless light is because she is committed. You could say, on the other side of the clothing, if you would take the clothes off her, her heart is committed somewhere special. That is the light that she has. It's committed to the roots she come from. But she keeps that private. It's hers, right? It's hers. And she has this dress or this clothing that kind of indicates that you can come to here, but not further, because that is my resource. That is my resource. That is the soul. This is where my soul connects with my roots. And you can never ever mess with that, right? You can get as far as this, but then no more. That's what I feel like with the Gemini reading. It's like there was also a card of like the moth to a flame, right? That the moth was only able to get to there was these party color lamps that have different colors, and the moth could only get to the cover, not to the exact light ball inside. Right? You could, like, it could only fly towards the cover and not get access to the real flame, because it was surrounded, like the lamp was surrounded by this paper cover, right? So you could only get so far. I felt that with the Gemini reading. It's like they wanted to have access to something, but they could only get to the shell or the cover of something. And that's what I feel like with her. It's the same thing. Like, it would be abusive to try to get through here, like to take her clothes off. You wouldn't respect her, right, if you did that. If you respect her, you would let her stay like this. And you would know that, well, there's something that is maybe private to her or intimate that has to do with her soul, and her soul is connecting with something here. But maybe I would rather let it be like this, because as long as she stays intact here, she has great healer abilities. Her soul is endless. There is so much light here. If I let her stay like this, she can heal forever. She can be a healing light forever. It never stops. So why would someone try to have access to it, right? Maybe because they want to own it. Maybe because they want it for themselves, you know. I just feel like someone stands here and is very aware of their femininity, very aware of their healing abilities, is definitely holding up a shield, you could say here. But a feminine shield, right? She's addressing something here. Only up till here and no further, right? Up till here and no further. I cannot give you anything else but up till here. Up till here and no further. And someone very aware of this, right? This is the way that they conduct themselves. They are holding up this, you could say it could be a sense of aura around them. That up till here and no further, right? Up till here and no further. Within here is my soul. And my soul is full of this healing light here. So I dress like this to keep a boundary. I dress like this to send a signal to you, right? Everybody, every woman does this. The way they conduct themselves, the way they dress, is a signal to the surrounding world of who she is. If you have nothing on, if you are naked here, it's a signal to the outside world. Someone who dresses like this, a woman who dresses like this, it's a signal. It's a signal of, please respect my boundaries. Please let me be who I am. I'm in service of something. Let me do this, right? Some wouldn't care. They would still assault her, right? But some would actually respect it. But as I said, you could have someone around you who tries to have access to your heart or to your soul here. But you have to, like, maintain your boundaries here if you want to keep your soul light safe, right? She doesn't want to armor up. She doesn't want to look like a male warrior. She doesn't want to have swords and pistols and everything. She is in service of God and light and love and Jesus, so she cannot have any armor. The only armor she has is the signal that she sends here of who she is. Like, she has virtues here. She operates with certain virtues, like the Empress. The Empress has certain virtues. Motherhood has certain virtues. certain, you could say, energies to it. It's like, let me be this energy, right? So you can come to me, but only so close. You can't ever cross those boundaries, right? That's a violation of my own personal space, but it's also a violation with my roots here. It's a violation of my source of love, you could say. So please respect that, right? Please respect my boundaries here. And because it's a mature energy, exalted light, because it is exalted light, I feel like I want to say it could be wise. So yes, they could have a mature body, but it's also like it carries an old light here, right? It's an old, wise light. So don't mess with my boundaries. Again, she holds up this, it's like a sign. I'm not an enemy, right? I'm not an enemy. I'm not an enemy to you. Please treat me accordingly, right? Treat me accordingly. Because I never wanted any harm. We know that about nuns, right? They never want harm to others. Like their tolerance or their understanding or their love for people is, well, yeah, again, the roots are very clear here. It's like everybody could come to Jesus, right? That all the children come to me. None are wrong. None are non-worthy. None are, outside of my embrace. This is a very particular worldview to have. It's a very particular understanding and respect and embrace. And someone could have something similar here, and they are asking with the way they are dressing or the way they conduct themselves, like, please respect this, right? I'm not your enemy. I hold this in front of me to show you, right, that I'm not your enemy. Please respect me and address me and talk to me accordingly, right? I come in with my wisdom here. I come in with my love, my light, my kindness, my friendliness, my compassion and understanding. Please respect that and treat me accordingly, right? Respect it. I'm an empress here. The empress is the same as when I talk about the cardinal. You're not a page of cups here. You are an empress. Like, you have exalted knowledge and light. You come from like beautiful healer roots here of embrace and tolerance and love. And nobody should treat you less than that. Right? But we know that people that are kind and loving, they would never be aggressive towards Jesus because they could feel his energy. But the Emperor Augustus, he was threatened by this energy. He wanted the world to believe that he was the greatest emperor, that he was God. And there could be no other God. So this simple peasant here, Jesus, he couldn't be the God's son, right? Because like Augustus considered himself as being being God himself and God chosen, like he was an incarnation of God and power. So those who seek power do not necessarily seek love. He walks with love, where those who are power seeking, they may not be someone you can heal, right? If they are concerned with power and egotistical or narcissistic goals in life, and they see themselves as more than God, they see themselves as more than Jesus, like the embodiment of God energy. I want to say this one is not like that. Like they are aware that she is in service of something. Her soul has a light to it. Her soul has a path to it, and she's walking this path. Like I'm not saying you're dressing like a nun. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you may exalt an energy like that, right? You may exalt this energy of, I am in service of something here. I walk on earth with a purpose. I walk on earth with a purpose. A specific purpose of healing and love. That's who I am. That's what I am. That's how I conduct myself. This is how I talk. This is the lake that I'm building at home, in my home. I am the home. I'm the embodiment of the home. So treat me like, don't mistreat your home, right? If you mistreat your home, it may collapse on you. Don't mistreat me, right? So if you have someone like that if you have a cancer in your life, they are the warm embrace. Treat them like that. Respect them for what they are saying and doing and how they conduct themselves. The peace they want to try to give you or help you have. The nurture they bring, this is what they are. So treat them well, right? Because if you don't, literally the house could fall down on you. The tower could come. This is what she's saying, like she holds this sign in front of her, like her clothing here. I'm a peacekeeper. I'm feminine here. I'm a peacekeeper. I'm in service of light and healing, and treat me like that, right? Treat me with respect here. I could stand here with weapons. I could have a chainsaw. I could be, I could have a lot of guns here. But I show up like this. And you know what that means. When you look at me, you know what it means. I have no armors. I'm not intending to fight with you. I have no intentions like that. So why do you bring fighting to me, right? If you're engaging with me, lay your weapons down, respect who I am, right? Can we have another card on Saint Bridget here? I want to have a card from the Lemuria deck, I think. So I have the card of alignment here. So Cancer, there could be something you're becoming more and more aligned with. I feel like I want to look at the book here about Saint Bridget. If you are aligning more and more with some of her energy, can we have a little more about her? If I can find her here. I have talked about her before, but I can't remember if it was your reading. So it says here, Saint Bridget represents the elevated state of knowing that we have everything we could ever need. Bridget was born in Ireland in 453, the daughter of an enslaved Pict woman named Brocha. Bridget's name comes from the Celtic Briganti, meaning high or exalted. It is said that the moment the king witnessed Bridget's generosity, he knew that she was holy and set her free. Bridget shares the name of the Celtic goddess Bridget and took on many of the same attributes. Saint Bridget's feast day is on Imbolc, the first day of February, which is also the day that the goddess Bridget is honored. Around 480, Saint Bridget founded a monastery at Kildare on the site of a shrine to the goddess Bridget. There were priestesses who tended to the goddess's eternal flame and received spiritual instruction in honoring the goddess. Saint Bridget is credited with organizing a communal and consecrated form of religious life for women on that same sacred ground. Tradition says that Saint Bridget died on Imbolc in 525. She had a female companion named Dar Lochdach, who became her successor in the Abbey of Kildare. Dar Lochdach also died in Imbolc a year later, which Saint Bridget had predicted. The Abbey at Kildare that Saint Bridget founded became a center of religion and learning and developed into a cathedral city. It remains famous and revered today. Saint Bridget lived in alignment with the highest, most exalted aspect of her being. She was born a slave, and yet legend relates that she gave away anything she possibly could to help those in need. Her generosity was an indication of the tremendous inner wealth she received from her connection to spirit. Her message to us is to reconnect to that inner fire, that eternal flame that feeds us more than anything external to us ever could. Read poetry or whatever feels like sacred scripture to your soul. Let your soul voice surface through some uncensored automatic writing, or let your soul guide your body through movement. Your answers right now are in releasing any attachment to personal possessions, clearing space, uncluttering your home, giving away what you don't need or someone needs more than you, so that you have the sacred space to remember just how much you have when your soul is loud and even present within you. So it seems like there could be a calling for Cancerians here to cleanse, I feel like, or purify around you, or the space, the lake I talked about, like make sure you have a harmonious, like a really harmonious space where you can dance or move, or you can where you're building this beautiful zone of yours in some way. Maybe you're creating a community, or maybe you're just for the moment dreaming of it, right? And becoming very particular of what it is that you become more and more aware of, exuding the energy of the Empress, and working more and more on what is around you, creating this space, or this. It could be for yourself, of course, but it could also be for other women, right? Or for other feminine energies that needs to be able to express themselves more freely. But it seems like there is an alignment here. An alignment going on with something, again, ancient, like she was born in 453. It's definitely like 2,000 years ago almost, right? Or 1,500 years ago, right? That she was born, and she just had this life of like wanting to give. Like again, she has these open arms and just wants to give, you know. And I think she still wants to. Like I do think that you want to be her, right? But for now, you may be wondering if you are. Again, you could have been. Let's have the driver for her here. Yeah. So I get the driver for the Empress. I get the Queen of Cups here. The Queen of Cups is sometimes called because she is she's a court card here, and this is a major arcana. So this is like the Empress in the minor arcana. Like she is like the Empress to be, what we say. The Queen of Cups can be a bit like an empath, like she can be very empathic and very kind and very giving, and a good listener and a good friend and kind and considerate, and definitely a peacekeeper. She brings forth a cup here of kindness. That is her way of life. That's how she experiences life. That's how she speaks. It's how she feels. It's everything about her. But you see, in this world we live in, she could have been a bit like being so forthcoming and being so open or accepting or generous in some way, kind. In this world, it may not always be the best approach, right? It could be approach where you could be a bit vulnerable, maybe. So I wanted the driver for St. Bridget here. So this is the alignment. It's a clarifying card for St. Bridget. You are aligning more and more with her, becoming more and more aware of like maybe soul connection. But this is the driver. So I get Makit Labdran, the diamond hearted Dakini. The diamond hearted Dakini. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. So this is the driver that has been leading up to this moment, you could say, for Cancers. So I see the darkness. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. So to free yourself, you may have been experiencing some kind of, let's say, dark night of the soul, or you are aligning yourself maybe more and more from a lower state of existence with a higher state of existence, or the soul. And again, there's this aligning phase between the more a more, it says here, to feel free, right? I face my ego beliefs to feel free. So there could have been a place of attachment, or you could say being caught in something, or chained to something. And then there's this this big potential here that is actually where you come from. This is the roots you have, and you could be like feeling that you are somewhere in between here. So a process where you have been facing some ego beliefs here that may not exactly tell the story of who you are. Again, she is a minor, what I call a dimmed version of her own energy here. Like her capacity is bigger than the Queen of Cups, you could say. And maybe that's what she has to let go of, that her ego believes is that she is a Queen of Cups and nothing more, right? And not to say that this is bad, but it's just not the full version of her. The Empress is the embodiment of all four queens, you say. So this can be the Queen of Cups, of course, that is here, but we also have the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Air, the Queen of Fire, so Queen of Wands, and Queen of Queen of Air, and Queen of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles. So she has all four elements that she can take and use. She has knowledge of all of them, and that's what makes her exalted, right? This is the excess knowledge that she holds, as opposed to this one that primarily holds the Queen of Cups energy and not the others. So it's a potential state, but not a completed state, you could say, of her potential here. And in order for her to embrace more of herself, she has to face some of her ego beliefs that may have kept you in her, as I said, in an attached state to something that is not her full capacity here. I see the light in my own darkness, and I face my ego beliefs to feel free, right? To free herself, to actually embrace and be who she is. But you see, she is wearing the nun, the clothes of the nun here. And I guess that, I don't know, because the nun is she is celibate, right? She lives a pretty virtuous life. Today, for a modern woman, I don't know, maybe that's not. I want to say she lives a particular life, devoted to something particular here. Maybe not celibate, maybe not, but you know, she has her mind is set on something particular here. And yes, she is wearing this sign, you could say, like her clothing, or the sign that she has here, that she has chosen to wear it. Like, I am not your enemy. I'm not an enemy, right? I don't have intentions. I'm not violent, right? I'm not a destroyer. I'm a peacekeeper. This is my sign to the world, right? Please respect it, right? But those who want to conquer, those who want to own, those who want to dominate, they may come to her, you know, and try to overwin her, or try to, because she has no armor like that. The only armor is, you could say, God's light, or the light of love. So to embrace and actually be who she is, she may need to well, show the world that she is like this, but also, you know, not be afraid. And trust that when I show up like this, I will be respected, right? She needs to have enough respect for her own beingness here, for her own capacity, like for her own roots here. Like she needs to honor them more than being fearful, right? Or she needs to honor it more, or stand in that embrace more, own that more than being afraid of those who may come towards her with weapons, right? That's what I feel like. It's let's have a look at the energy cards here. We can have another card on this one also at the bottom of the deck here. Get yin and yang. So yeah, there's something about a melting or a connection with like maybe her inner, like yin. I've talked a lot about yin and yang on my channel actually, that that two become one, that there could be something about that her ego is supposed to work with her soul and not against it, or that her soul, like her light and her darkness, she sees the light in her darkness as well as the darkness in her light perhaps, and it means that she has a more full understanding of herself. And I think like people who tell that, like people who believe that they are like someone who should be able to embrace every person in the world, like they need to have a very particular understanding about people, like a non-judgment or something. Otherwise they could judge them and not want to treat them, or not want to have anything to do with them. And maybe what I talked about in the beginning is not correct, in the sense that as long as you believe you are a Queen of Cups, you may feel like you have limited light here to share with the world. But if you do embrace the fact that you are the Empress here, you open up to your like total soul awareness, you will have all of this available to you. So I feel like it's like a pep talk, right? This feeling like a believe in yourself, Cancer, right? Believe that you have everything it takes, even to deal with energies that just want to own you, dominate you, control you, and lock you down or chain you, right? That you still have everything it takes to heal, and be a healer. And for now, it may be that you are selective here of what is in your realm, but I think it has to do with the fact that your energy may not have a full capacity. Like if you walk around like the Empress here, or like the Queen of Cups being an empath, you don't have the necessity, you don't have the other skills, you don't have the other qualities yet. Or you believe that you can only be in the world if you are the Queen of Cups, that it's not right for you to have the other skills. And as long as you stay here, you don't get in trouble, right? And you are very kind and very giving, but there could be people exploiting this. Like it's very common that empath and narcissist can come together. And this can be a very devastating experience for an empath, because they are not prepared to deal with like the closedness of a narcissist. So I feel like this, it's like a pep talk. It's like you have these like there is so much more potential, so much more wisdom, so much more like exalted. It's old, it's wise. You carry that in you, but you are aligning with it, right? By facing your ego. And this is the yin and yang dance, right? Of your inner masculine and feminine. And we have masculine here and feminine here, right? And right now you may be she could even be cloaked here, in the sense that she is in a cocoon state, that she's not engaging with much here. She would go through life a bit like a nun. She's not engaging with much. She's keeping herself to herself, like a cocoon. She's in a process of something, but not there yet. Like, as I said, it's like she's in between here, in the void, in a process of some kind. I wanted to look at the healer of the ages, because I feel like this is an interesting route to have here. The powerful being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of divine consciousness pours from his hands and heart, flowing to you with love and powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping to unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. You may have felt this strong presence recently, or you may just be opening to the wonderful sensations now. You can call upon this emissary of miraculous transformation whenever you need vitality, balance, and renewal. Know that at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place. Yeah, I feel like you have roots of this. Like this is in your, maybe it's even occurring in your root chakra or your lower chakras. You may feel heaviness in that area, or you may feel like maybe you have heavy legs or something like that. That something is going on here. You can call it in. Beautiful healing energy. You are aligning more and more with your potential, I think. And again, it could be something ancient, but it takes, cooperation. Again, this is cooperation between two energies, yin and yang here. Like when they cooperate, they see each other fully. They know that there's darkness in light, and they know that there's light in darkness. They are aware of this, and when they have kind of come to awareness about this, they can unite forces and become stronger, right? So there could be an alignment going on, and I'm not saying that, could you actually heal? Could you heal energies that are profoundly broken, like narcissism and psychopathy? Is that possible? Can I get a bit more card on? Again, it would say a bit like she's in between being the Queen of Cups and the Empress. So like maybe she's acquiring some of the other elements, like let's say Queen of maybe Queen of Pentacles, maybe Queen of Fire. So the willpower to actually go towards and choose this life path, becoming the Empress here. Maybe it's air, right? Maybe it's swords energy, Queen of Swords. Maybe it's wisdom that she needs to acquire, but I just get the feeling it's like there is something in between here, that could be the state that you feel in. Can we have a card about that? Maybe. Okay, so I get 9 of Earth here. 9 of Earth is 9 of Pentacles. This is singlehood. Again, look at the similarity about the clothing here. Singlehood, maybe celibacy, maybe again, she holds a lantern here. She holds a little flower, but there are some sparkles around it. 9 of Earth is like a self-care card. It's a self-care, self-love healing card. It's a prioritizing a single life. It's like building this life or this garden, as I say, where like it's like you want the lake back. Like you want to ensure yourself that your lake is harmonious. Like the place from which you are seeking your healing here, or you have your light come in, or that you can stand in that light, that see how like he has this aura around him, the that is like a particular sign of being being holy, or you could say you have the halo around you, right? And here we see the same thing. It's like something is building here around her. And here the same thing, but here it seems a bit darker, right? That maybe it wasn't that obvious at some point. She has a mask on. She may be, like in a private state of reshaping her life, rebuilding her life with self-love here. With self-love, she is dealing with her ego, seeing the light in her own darkness, embracing everything. And I think it's necessary, like if you haven't embraced everything in you, how can you not judge others? If you're judging yourself, how can you not judge others? So I think it's maybe necessary for this Queen of Cups to go through some kind of self-care, self-loving process here. Again, I get this feeling of like the nun, or like a withdrawn life, or something where she is in a cocoon phase in some way. Can I get one more card on this Empress here? And this, like, I'm quite drawn to the fact that she's holding this in front of her, like that's what she wants to show the world. But actually, it's almost like she needs to hold on to it, like for dear life, almost. Like this is necessary, right? That she holds on to some femininity here. Like it's almost like it becomes an anchor, or like a steering wheel, right? That she's steering her way forward with this steering wheel, with this sign, right? Of who she is, like holding on to the feminine part of her, the motherliness, or I feel like it's an anchor, like she has to hold on to it. Can I get one more card on the Empress here? Again, we see how she's holding on to this flower here. She holds on to this lantern, a bit like the hermit, right? The hermit holds on to a lantern that is the guiding light for her somehow, moving forward. Okay, interesting. Look at this, like, so I get the justice card here. Justice is fight for justice and equality, rulings made in your favor, and don't give up. Justice is the balance, right? The balance between everything here. So, and she's holding on to like the feminine part here. The feminine part, we know that Libra is ruled by Venus, which is feminine, right? So maybe she is in a particular situation right now with Libra. Libra is swords energy, air energy. So maybe she's like confronting her own wisdom right now. Libra is air energy, and Libra is the scales. It's about the balance. It's about the equality or the fairness between each other here, or her inner sides here. It's about finding this balance to move forward, maybe with Libra energy present, in the sense that it could be like a guiding, like she holds on to it like a guiding light, that she needs the balance, right? She needs to figure out how to have the balance here. So it becomes again like a steering wheel, or like a compass, or like she's holding on to it like a storyteller, right? Like it tells her where to go. And if she releases this, like if she's not holding on to balance here, if she's not very careful about her balance here, she could tip, right? But because she has these roots here helping her right now, it's like, I think this, and I think he is very much a storyteller of balance, because like, at least that's what I feel about Jesus energy, is like, it's like his embrace is so broad, right? There's nothing that he can't seem to not like. There's no person he would send away. There's no person he would, like he would try to heal anyone. He would try to send his divine light towards anyone who wanted his healing, who would come to him, But that's the exact thing, that when people come to you, usually they want healing. Like they have already chosen to want to be healed by you, or have some of your healing guidance. Otherwise, they don't come to you. But there can be those energies that are still around, but they can't take in your light. And you can become obsessed with them. But I don't think you're supposed to, right? Like that one patient or that one case is not supposed to get you stuck. It's not supposed to get you chained. And it's not supposed to steal your light or dim your light, or make you feel less than. You're not supposed to stay in this pose. You're supposed to heal. Like you're supposed to really own up to what you are, or there is the potential to. But you could become attached to one particular case, and that case can keep you stuck. And maybe you have been stuck here. Again, the ego here. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. The ego beliefs could be that you must heal all. That you must heal all, and you must have the capacity to heal all. It means that you can never fail, right? It also means that you have the capacity to heal all, even though they don't want your healing. And I don't think that is correct. I think that those who want your healing, those that look for your light, those that come to you, they will be healed by what you say, or what you do, or what you can do, what your wisdom has to offer. But those who stay away from you, those who never come to you, or even if they come, they can never really get benefit from your healing if they are closed. But that is not your problem, you could say. It's not your problem to gain access to them if they are closed. It's up to them to figure out when they are ready to open, perhaps. Like when they are ready to open, or if they hit rock bottom in some way, maybe then they will listen to you. But if they keep up like an ego, if they stay stubborn and they don't want your healing, they don't, even if they can't come to you and they still are closed off, I don't think Jesus would mind that. Like he would just know it. Like he would know, okay, I can send my healing light to you, but in my awareness right now, I can see that you are not ready for my light, right? You're not ready to deal with me. I can offer it, and you can take it if you want to, but I can see and feel and hear already. I know that you are not ready for my light. You are closed off, right? And I can still send it to you, but I am aware that you are probably not hearing it, feeling it, taking it in, wanting it, because you stay in your ego. And he wouldn't mind that. Like he would know that, well, people have free will. I'm here to heal those who want healing, who are seeking healing, who wants to listen to my words, who wants to listen to God, who wants to listen to like all the love he has for us, if we are willing to hear him and embrace him and everything. That would be how Jesus would probably look at this. He wouldn't be stuck with one who didn't want to give in or who didn't want to hear the message. He would move on to those who would. And I think that is one of the things that I want to say here. But I get it. Like if you have within your lake or within your home perhaps, you have someone who seems like they don't want to listen, or who seems like they are closed off, or who seems like they don't care, who doesn't want to create peace with you, who is not interested in healing. We can get stuck with them. Like we can get addicted to the idea of that they need healing, and we want to give them healing, but they don't want it. They're not taking it. They're not listening. They don't care. And you can do whatever you want, but it's not helping. Please have a look at the Gemini reading also. I feel like there's something there about it. So I feel like there's definitely a message here about not getting stuck on the one. And think about all the others. Even though the one that I talk about here, the one, is the one that you care about in your heart space the most. Like the one that is, your child, or they are your partner, or your wife, or your... and normally we tend to stay there, right? We tend to stay with that one. But I'm asking myself here about Jesus, right? Would he, let's say Mary Magdalene got sick, would he stay with her, or would he have continued his mission? I think he would have continued his mission. Like, because it's such a big calling from God, right? It's not something you can just stop. We know it with all of them. Like it's Moses, like he was drawn to the mountain, right? He had to go up there. And he saw the burning bush, and he heard God talk to him. And he was told he should bring out the Israelis, take them into the desert, away, get them out of slavery, right? And he was told to do that, even though he had no weapons, he had nothing. He only had like the commandment of God, and that he was chosen to do this. But he didn't know how to. And I think this is also some of it. How am I supposed to like do something? I don't think you should think about that. It's more like will you follow? Like, will you go? Will you do what I say? Will you hear the light here, the calling? Will you go towards it? Will you become Bridget here? Or will you align yourself with some of this energy? I feel like whomever I'm talking to, they are in a process of something here. It becomes more and more apparent to them, I think. Not exactly, I don't think that they know where they are supposed to end. I don't think they know that yet. But you see the similarities. She is dressing differently, or she has the same kind of clothing here. She holds on to something. She holds on to the light here, or the lantern that guides her. Here it's very clear. She knows it very clearly. It's very obvious to her. Here I'm not quite sure. Like, it may still be a bit fuzzy here for her. Like here, there's no halo. Like, she has no halo here. Here there is something happening in the background here. And here you have like a big zodiac halo around her. Even like a planet of, well, it could look a bit like Mars, right? The red planet. Mars here, actually interesting. The front picture for these readings is like a red planet or a red moon or something. Now I think about it. Mars is known as the red planet, or any other, but there is definitely something surrounding her head here now that is different than here. Here it's like there's nothing. There's nothing. It's like she has no guidance, or she has no contact, or there's nothing here. So she could be in between, or, like becoming. I even said that with Gemini. The Gemini reading is called Sun and Moon and the One in Between. Right, for Gemini, and it's almost the same here. Sun and Moon, or masculine and yin and yang, and the one in between, right? The one in between. That is still in a cocoon, I think. Like they're still figuring something out here. Or changing something. And what I think is, again, there's something like ancient. Like, I think there is a possibility of knowing something ancient. Having access to something very ancient, old wisdom, healer of the ages, someone who can heal anything. Can we have a card on the healer of the ages? Yeah, yeah. So I get sacrifice here. And this is interesting. It's how, again, I tie this to Jesus. It's like, I guess many people have wondered throughout the times, how could God like let his child be killed like that? How could he? But it's like Jesus is sacrificing himself for the sins of humanity, right? Like his death, his sacrifice is because of the sins. It's like he's apologizing to God for the sins of humanity, and therefore he's giving his life on the cross. So in what way we could say that there's a sacrificial energy in this? There's something interesting about that this is a very big, you could say, persona, and then the little butterfly here, that is this tiny thing that you release, right? The release of the butterfly. Okay, now I get something like it's a minor sacrifice, but with great impact. So the life of Jesus was a minor sacrifice for the story it created, or for the aftermath of it, right? That it was a little sacrifice to make for the impact it had. Like the impact was way bigger than the sacrifice, I think. Because it's like Jesus' spirit is still there. It's still on earth, right? People pray to him every single day, hoping for the return at some point, right? But it's like, even though this is like around 2,000 years ago, it's still present. Like the energy is still present. It was a small sacrifice to make for a bigger movement to arise, you could say. Christianity and the believing in God and Jesus, like we needed, the human race needed something spectacular to happen, and maybe also to be sacrificed for it to last. Like the story had to be big enough so that it would actually be shared. It had to be big news, right? Or big. Maybe the unfairness about the crucifixion is also part of the martyr thing about Jesus is so big, right? Because he was literally standing there like she does, right? I'm not an enemy. Like, why do you treat me like an enemy? I'm not an enemy, right? I'm not your enemy. But the rulers of Rome, right? They couldn't accept that a person was wandering around talking about another God. Like they were so consumed in their own narcissism, in their own godlike state, that they couldn't accept that there should be another. And so they had to get rid of this other opponent here, right? They had to get rid of it because they are a traitor, right? They were worshipping another god than Augustus. Right? They were worshipping and even asking other people to worship his God here, not the one on the throne, not the incarnated God that was sitting on the throne in Rome. So it's like two gods or two stories about gods were present, and that couldn't be. The one who wanted like absolute sovereignty needed this other one to go away, right? And that is the story, right? That he was crucified for bringing forth an unwanted parallel possibility. He was suggesting a parallel other God. And the one who claimed to be one couldn't accept that and needed it to be eliminated. But somehow the story prevailed. Somehow people actually trusted him more, right? It still is active today. The story was big enough. It was a sacrifice necessary here for a greater good, you could say. And that's what he's doing here, and that is maybe what this Saint Bridget is also thinking, that there is a greater, that there is a sacrifice maybe with the way I may live my life or what I conduct or what I'm doing, but it's for a greater good. That is definitely what she has to believe in, right? That's also what this one has to believe in. Like what I'm doing or what I'm creating or what I'm shaping here, or maybe even what I will eventually know here with the exalted light, the wisdom that I may hold, is for a greater good. It is to heal something. So it may have different impact. It may not be like Jesus, right? But it still may have impact. It may be a story worth telling, right? Because it may impact. It may create a ripple effect. It may be big enough. It may create enough more awareness. But I see her still here, like she's maybe not quite here yet. She hasn't found maybe the key yet. She's still in the shell, right? She's still figuring something out. But when she figures it out, it could be worth the while because of a bigger result. Can we have an advice, please, on this situation here? An advice card on Saint Bridget here. Or maybe on the Nine of Earth. Again, I feel like she is somewhere in between those here, like maybe she knows, but this lifestyle is maybe requiring something of her that she's still figuring out. So I get the Seven of Pentacles. This is a card that talks about put in the seeds to see the reward later. So keep putting in seeds here to align with what you are aligning with here. So keep trusting the path. Again, look at her clothing here. Keep putting in the seeds to create maybe the environment or this community or this group that you're looking for, this her lake or her harmonious surrounding in some way. Keep putting that in and expect the reward to come, right? That it's coming. It's on its way. It's actually already here. So one of those seeds could be that, yeah, you declutter. You may give things away for charity. You're cleansing up your space, making it ready for some kind of sacrifice maybe, or I feel that like the decluttering, this idea of getting rid of things that you could be attached to, or people or something that you could be attached to, that the more you get away of this, the easier it actually becomes. Like this one, she could be, if you look at her clothing here, she has this golden robe and she has a certain hairstyle and but this one has given that up, right? That is part of the appearance here. That they give it up. They give up this, like maybe vanity, right? They give up vanity and self-absorption. They give up some of this. It's also, when I look at this card, it's like she's it's like she's inside here, looking out. And she has this golden robe, and she has a neat hairstyle perhaps, and she has some kind of maybe fashionable headdress here. She is walking on very well polished floors near the water. But then she looks out across the water here, like she's looking for something, right? And here we see her outside, under the sky, in nature. So it's like, again, what is wealth and what is golden robes, and if it's not really what you want, right? What if this lifestyle is actually preventing you from the halo, or at least in her case, right? In her case, it feels a little bit like she is separate from something. As long as she stays like this, she's separate from it. So she has started some kind of journey here. Again, I see her as, I'm not sure whether she's inside and outside. I see her as outside, and usually 9 of Pentacle cards show someone walking alone outside, cherishing the single lives, cherishing the blossoms around them, the grapes around them. So maybe she is in the air or the earth element right now, figuring out what actually, as I said, she's Queen of Cups. Maybe she is learning Queen of Pentacles here, learning about Queen of Pentacles, again being in the cocoon. Maybe she knows that this is her direction. She's not quite there yet, I think. She's still putting in, Pentacles here, learning. I see her actually, like she's a bit like a farmer's wife, right? She's humble. I feel like humble. And I feel like patience, because I said something about keep putting in seeds. Normally we don't see the pentacles in the tree. We put them in a seed and then something grows from them. So here it feels like she has put in the seed. Now she has the pentacle tree, right? And now it has shown it there is something here that feels abundance in some way. Pentacles can be about money. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. Maybe she has some kind of money here, but still learning. I feel like this is a minor arcana, right? It's not it's still a learning process, school even. Like 7 of Pentacles can be a learning, like you're still putting in seeds, investing in education or investing in knowledge in some way. Again, it says alignment. You're still in a process of aligning. Still in a process of aligning. An Empress of Justice here. Of balance. Again, yin and yang supporting that. Having help here from the Healer of Ages. And I get like a reference to Jesus here, like the sacrifice, right, that was given for a greater cause. So an advice is still just keep working on putting in the seeds. And I get like devotion, right? The nun, like they are celibate, they are devoted, they have put all their focus on one particular path or one particular lifestyle. And I think you should just keep doing that. Maybe you haven't said it, like again this, I get this feeling of like being a bit cloaked, like it's a secretive or not something out in the open, but she will eventually be so. Like eventually she will take off the, like her head dress or the headpiece here, this, you know, like this way of sheltering her head here a bit. I feel like she will eventually like let her hair out, I feel like. Right here it is, the hair is protected, here it is protected, here it is protected, and here she actually just lets it out. So I feel like it's because she's still in this merging process or alignment process. Maybe she haven't really figured out her style yet, or her how to look, you know, how am I supposed to look? Because I want to keep up this sign always. The sign has to be there always. So I need a certain style or something that goes with that. Can I have one more card on the Empress? Like her, yeah, one more card on her. So I get Goddess of the Moon. This one came up also in the Gemini reading, actually. Goddess of the Moon here. And I said there is a planet in the background. It could be the moon. It doesn't have to be Goddess of the Moon. In that particular reading, it had to do with this reaching through the shell. Like here, it actually looks like her hand is already in there, right? Like she's not just touching the outside of the shell here. Her hand has actually reached through the shell and it's touching the real problem. This was also in the, please have a look at the Gemini reading also. Maybe she will have an ability to reach through those who are cloaked, like who are totally blocked. Like maybe that is her. It was actually in the same position, like in the crown position here, that maybe she will be able to. Maybe that's the one she's building here, someone who can look through the shell of someone or reach through. Maybe she will be able to heal narcissists or like psychopathy, or you know, people that have no way of healing. Even in Gemini reading, I talked about addictions, like people that are utterly and totally cloaked in their own addiction. They have no way of figuring out how to heal. They have no way of, they can't see a way out. It's like they're trapped in there. That maybe, Cancer, you have an ability to open up wisdom where you can heal people that are absolutely, totally embedded in some kind of wall here, that they cannot from the inside get out. They actually need a push from the outside, but it's just when are you supposed to do that, right? Because people have free will. Maybe it's an invasion to do this, right? Unless people really ask for it, right? That they come to you and say, help me, please. I don't know my way out. Please help me out of this. Then she may have the ability to actually push through that shell, you know? and help. It's just when are you going to do that? Because sometimes people have egos up and protective shields just because they are not ready or they choose not to. So when are you supposed to do this? When is this ethically correct? I think it is if they themselves are asking. If they are hitting rock bottom and they know that they can't do without help and they're asking themselves, then you can probably help, right? So maybe you are dealing with a Gemini who is in the shell, or there is definitely some kind of energy here where someone is mimicking you, or they are twin-like, or maybe you have a twin, like maybe you have literally a physical twin whom you have no contact with, and they don't want to listen to you, or you can't have any contact with them. And again, I want to say, of course you can be occupied with the one that you couldn't seem to heal, or you couldn't seem to find a way through, but you could also concentrate on those that actually do come, and if they come, make sure that they actually are ready for healing. Like, are they ready to heal? Are they ready to do the work to feel free, to free themselves like you did? Will they face their own ego beliefs to feel free again, to free themselves? Or are they still stuck in their egos and they can't let them down? And I feel like what you are trying to accomplish here is something about having the ability to reach those that don't know how to get out of a certain situation. And when they ask for help, you will be able to help them. That's what I see here. That's what I feel like. But it could be ancient, right? Something that is not currently here, or we haven't, like, we know that people can get angry. Like, if we try to come with unsolicited advice here, and they haven't asked for it, like, they will not be open to listen, right? Maybe you have the ability to break through even those who don't want help. But again, is that ethically correct? I don't know. But sometimes, doctors, they may, in the ER, people come in with all sorts of injuries, and sometimes they have attempted suicide. But still the doctors do whatever they can to stabilize the patient and keep them alive, even though they have attempted suicide. Sometimes we know that suicide is an attempt or a cry for help, but they just don't know how to cry. They just don't know how to call. So they do this other thing to send a statement that I don't feel well, but I don't know how to express it otherwise. And maybe you will have an ability to reach through to those who are in that state, who can't call for help. I even said something like, in the Gemini reading, I said something about if someone is frozen or they are in a catatonic state, that there could be something going on in there, but you can't get it out, right? If someone is in a catatonic state, it's like they are imprisoned in their body. But maybe their mind works. Maybe they actually do think. Maybe they do feel in there. But nobody can see it. Like, nobody outside the body can see what's going on. Maybe you will have the ability to actually reach in and awaken them, in there. It could be someone with dementia, that stay in the shell most of the time, and just sometimes you can have 5 minutes of clarity where they remember you and embrace you, and then they retrieve into the shell again and they push you away, right? Because they don't remember you again. But instead of having just 5 minutes, maybe you can actually open them up again, and get them out of the catatonic or this state that kind of just we know people with crippling diseases like Parkinson's that are shaking like this. They sit and they have immense amount of pain. What if you could reach in and take out the problem so that they could move again? You know, it's something like that, I feel like. We'll see, Cancer, if but this is a beautiful attempt. I'm not sure you actually know exactly what it is. It's also the moon energy for me is also secretive, you know, that she has some way of reaching in and draw out the secrets or secret traumas or something that may be blocking your happiness. The moon is usually where the moon is happiness and joy, where the sun is happiness and joy in your life. Moon can be trauma, it can be sadness, grief, and something. And maybe you will have the ability to, to change circumstances for people, even those that are, you know, that are totally cloaked. You could say that, let's say a parent comes in with their child and their child is utterly crippled and handicapped. What if you could reach in and fix the problem in there somehow, energetically reach in or do something, and they will get out of their coma maybe, or this crippled state of being? What if you could do that? But I feel like it's a very an old wisdom somehow. It's something that is not here currently, I think. That's what I feel like I have here, Cancer, for you somehow. This, I don't know, I feel it's rather particular or rather so either this is for you or it's not. Like, I don't think there is an in-between feeling, not really. Only the one here may feel in between, but I'm not sure either this resonates or it won't resonate with you. So, but if it do, please let me know, and yeah, I wish you well, Cancer, on your journey. If this is what is going on for you, take care of yourself out there. Love and light to you. Bye bye.